Brandon,
Yes,
it
sir.
is April 15th, here 12:19 in the judge's office. We do have to have a recorded hearing
Okay.
based on an incident last night, incident file IN 2025 00064 6041. We received a report from the association of a drunken episode upstairs. I'm going to read kind of the report that it was created by the association. On 4:15 at 1:07 in the morning, security was called to the sports bar for guests harassing and employees. Officers A. Tazessa and E. Chris, security lead J. Eustace, and I, J. Jarvis, security manager, responded to a call, arriving at 1:07 in the morning. Guests Stephen White and Brandon Bates were loudly cussing and arguing about what was said before we arrived and turned their attention to security. Mr. Bates and Mr. White both were observed swaying and slurring their speech, appearing to be overly intoxicated. I, J. Jarvis, requested E. Chris and A. Tazessa to leave the area as both guests were yelling obscenities at them. After getting them out of the area, I was able to get their names and find out both guests were staying at the hotel for the race season. Both men had no perception of the personal space and continued to argue, hurling obscenities toward J. Eustace and me while we were trying to defuse the situation. Mr. White and Mr. Bates were informed that they were being banned from the gaming floor and to return to their rooms. Miss H. Shelton was nearby. The guests started hurling obscenities in her direction. I asked Miss Shelton to leave the area. After Miss Shelton left, I was able to calm both guests down and started to move them to their hotel rooms. While passing the hotel podium, Mr. White stopped and grabbed the arm of Officer K. Elston. I also asked Mr. White to keep moving, and both men exited the hotel entrance to smoke. While outside the hotel, Mr. White proceeded to urinate underneath the porta cochere. Mr. White re-entered the hotel entrance, and I escorted them to their hotel elevators. Mr. Bates then entered the hotel entrance and walked directly to the hotel elevators. Guest Stephen White is staying in room 349, listed as a horseman. Mr. Bates has entered room 515, listed under Dwayne Wells. Both men were highly intoxicated and acting in obstinate fashion. After speaking with Miss Hannah Shelton, guest Stephen White asked for sexual favors from her and guest Ashley Madison, prompting the call for security. Reviewing the footage, Mr. White can be seen approaching Miss Shelton and Miss Madison at the sports bar after it was closed. Miss Shelton places a chair in Mr. White's path, and Mr. White continues forward. They can be seen exchanging words before Miss Madison and Miss Shelton were seen walking away from the sports bar. As they were walking away, Mr. White and Mr. Bates were seen laughing and hollering towards Miss Shelton and Miss Madison. Shortly after this interjection, security makes contact. So, do you have anything to add to this statement from the association?
I kind of remember this. From what I recall, I was getting ready to leave, whatever, and I turned around and there were two security guards having an argument with Stephen, and I kind of walked over and whatever, and it was some bartender. Is that what that woman's name is? Whatever. Was saying. They were hollering back to Stephen, and I was saying, well, I don't know. I kept pointing to the camera. I said, just check the cameras. If he did something wrong, whatever. That's my whole gist of it. Yeah, there was an argument, whatever, as you could tell, but what did I do? They said to leave, and
based on the incident, Oak Grove has presented you with a notice of trespass. So at this moment, on April 15th, you have been given a notice of trespass we have here in front of me. I have signed it. Security will sign it. If you decline to sign it, we will still give you a copy. We ask that you sign it. Based on the rules in Kentucky, 810 KAR 3.020 Section 15H states, a licensee may have their license revoked if the licensee or applicant has been ejected, ruled off, or excluded from a racing association grounds in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, or a racetrack in any jurisdiction. So due to you being notice of trespass and excluded from Oak Grove, your license is being revoked as of this minute.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but what exactly did I?
The argument based on the information, you can make a decision with the Association of Oak Grove. But due to Oak Grove putting you on their trespass list until you are lifted, the ruling, this is exactly what the ruling states. Mr. Brandon Bates is a licensed driver under KHRGC. Mr. Brandon Bates is involved in an incident in Oak Grove with the file number and the rule that I just read. Due to being ejected by Oak Grove, Mr. Brandon Bates' license in the Commonwealth of Kentucky is hereby revoked, and he will only be eligible to apply for a license in the Commonwealth of Kentucky once you have been removed from the no trespass list at Oak Grove.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to make sense of this here.
They're kicking you off.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm kind of questioning why. I mean, I was part of their argument, but I didn't grab anybody. I didn't piss on nothing.
The argument that was presented to me this morning by security and by the head of security staff is that you were argumentative, in the face, drunken, obscure, and everything. The problem that you will have with them is an issue that you can take up with them.
That's what I'm getting at.
But they have deemed that.
Yeah.
They have deemed you an individual that they do not like on property.
Yeah, I understand what you're reading to me.
When they remove you from the trespass list, if they do at any time, then you will be eligible to reapply in the state of Kentucky. But until that point, your license is hereby revoked. We will have a security guard escort you to gather all your belongings. You will need to take everything with you today. You will no longer be allowed on any jurisdictional racetrack in the state of Kentucky as of today.
Huh. Okay. I understand everything you read to me. Okay. Is there someone I can go meet with? That's what I'm asking. I don't. It's kind of all news to me. I got a call from Walter, I don't know, an hour ago now, and he said there's a rumor some shit went down. That's why I came in and checked with you guys. Like, it's news to me. I didn't.
You're instructed that you can contact security.
Yeah.
At Oak Grove via phone or however they feel. And once they have notified us that you are off, then you are clear. But until that time, you're no longer welcome in Kentucky.
Sure, and I understand.
So your will be is to contact them. Who's the supervisor up? Who is the head of security?
The director is Joe Gumpier.
Okay.
He's the director of security surveillance. The security operations manager is Adrian.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Is there, can I speak to or meet with?
Yes,
I understand what your job is. I gotta take my stuff, leave, I get that.
Yes, sir. I can give you a number you can call, and then you can, more likely than not, it's probably gonna give you a voicemail. You can leave a message for Adrian and or Joe, and then they'll make the determination on whether or when they call you back to discuss the matter.
Yeah, I didn't
can't speak for them, but I can give you a number that you.
Yeah, that's what I can get at. I don't, it's Tuesday. I assume maybe someone's here working. I'm in person.
Like I said, if they once Oak Grove, if they supply you with a phone number, that's on their prerogative. That is not something that we have to do as the Board of Judges.
No, I understand. I understand what your job is, what you're reading me now. The conversation is. So I would like some information or an explanation. I understand what you read, but other than having an argument, I was part of the argument that was going on. I interjected myself into that, but I didn't do anything.
That is, and like I said, you will have the opportunity. Like I said, this gentleman here will provide you a number to Oak Grove. You're able to call and speak with them. What I'm going to hand you is I'm going to hand you a copy of the ruling from the Board of Judges. I'm going to ask if you sign this notice of trespass. This gentleman here from security will sign it as well, and we will make copy of it. You will be given a copy of your notice of trespass. Like I said, if you deem not to sign it, he will still sign it, and we will give you a copy of it yet, but we're asking if you would like to sign this.
I'm not refusing. I'm just trying to gather what's going on here. I understand what your job
Yep.
is. I get all that. I'm just trying right now to process that. Can I have a meeting, or I don't really know.
You are more than welcome to have
Yeah.
a meeting at any time.
Yeah.
But right now, you're done today.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
understand your position. And where you're
like I
at.
said, you will have 10 days to appeal this ruling to the KHRG Corporation, which you have to send. The form is on the KHRGC website. There's an appeal form to send to the executive director, at which time they will set up a review if you do not agree with our decision. But we reciprocate via the Kentucky rules and regulations. Since you have been ruled off, your license has been revoked. There's really, I'm going to be honest with you, there's really nuts more we need to talk about.
Right.
Like I said, your decision now is to cooperate and the understanding with Oak Grove.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm cool with what you guys are saying. I'm just trying to process this whole situation. I don't know.
So I'm going to ask you,
Like the
I'm going to
Oak
ask for
Grove
you to
side.
sign this.
Okay, wait, I'm not trying to fight with you or be
Just sign the
arguing.
guest, and then I'll have you come over and sign, please.
Where do I sign?
Right here on the guest. So then, like I said, I will make you a copy.
Yeah.
And I will ask for your badge back, sir. This is the copy of the ruling for you.
So before you copy that, you gotta get a witness signature.
Oh, Jeff, you want to sign this?
Where do you want to? Right there where it says witness.
All right, Mr. Bates, here's your copy from Oak Grove. And this gentleman here will escort you to gather all your supplies. I've asked them to make sure they give you ample time to get your stuff, but we do need to be haste. And they will make sure they will escort you to exit the property, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Like I said, please contact Oak Grove, and then, like I said, that's the route that we have to go with, okay?
Yeah, I understand. That was what I was getting at.
Yep.
Who do I speak to
Like I
get
said-
back to here? I'm really not.
You're gonna have to talk to Joe Gunther.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to.
The head of-
He'll be able to get your number, okay?
Yeah, that's what I.
All right, perfect. All right,
Kind of in the limbo here. Who do I talk to next?
all right, Mr. Bates, take care.
Yeah, thanks a lot.